Welcome, NobleKing coaches, players, and parents. I'm Kevin Riley, the Director of Development for our association. As a part of our development program today, we're videoing our standardized skating drills so that all of you can watch how these drills should be performed at your practices. I'd like to thank Paul Hampton, our lead instructor, for designing these skills for our association, together with Nat Bannister, who's performing these drills, and his father, an executive of the association, for videoing the drills. I trust you'll find these helpful in your future development. Good luck, and work hard to master these. Thank you.
Forward stride, 2 hands high. Here Nat's demonstrating forward skating, 2 hands on the stick. Both hands are up high. Notice his body rhythm. His arms are in time with the stride, and he's looking down the ice. He's not looking at the ice. He's got his head up. Knees are bent. He extends the stride, finishing with an ankle snap. Forward stride, 1 hand on the stick, arms forward and back. For optimum speed, Nat's demonstrating how he can skate down the ice with his head up, his arms going forward and back to give him optimum speed. Again, he's looking down the ice. Notice the bent knees, and again his arms are in time with his legs. Forward sculling. Here Nat propels himself down the ice by pushing his feet in and out. This is a very good technique for learning your inside edges. NHL shuffle. I call this the NHL shuffle. And what Nat's doing here is he's using his heels to push as he goes down the ice. Notice his feet do not come off the ice. He has 2 hands high on his stick, and again he's looking down the ice, not at the ice. If you watch an NHL hockey game, you'll see NHL players propel themselves a lot this way. Inside edges. Here Nat follows his stick blade, using his stick as a steering wheel, and has a big push. As he makes his turn, he's always on his inside edges. Notice also that Nat turns his head in the direction that he wants to go. Backward C-cuts. This is the basics of backward skating, the backward C-cut. Here Nat is using C's to propel himself down the ice backwards. Notice Nat's head's up and his knees are bent. He's not bent at the waist, he's bent at the knees. His free hand is up. That helps with his posture, and also it helps to steer a player, opposing player. Tight turns right and left. I like to use the dots to demonstrate tight turns. As you see, Nat is using the dots. He's on both edges, his outside edge and his inside edge. His stick is always to the middle of his turn. That helps rotate you through the turn. Notice his head turns and his body follows. A common mistake for this skill, and as showing here, is the outside edge is skidding because he has no weight on that foot. And this is the most common error that skaters use. A good telling feature of this is when there's snow on the inside of the skates. That's caused from that front foot skidding. As you can see here, there's no skidding. Nat's on both edges and he has equal weight on both feet. This is how the skill should look. Forward stops right and left. Again, using the dots, Nat is performing 2-foot forward stop. Notice his knees bend as he stops. He's using his legs as a shock absorber. He's stopping on both his outside and his inside edges, making sure that both feet are equally working to slow him down. Again, a common error is not putting any weight on the inside foot outside edge and only using the inside edge foot to do your stopping. But as you can see here, Nat is using both equally. Forward to backward, right and left. Again, using the dots. This drill, Nat is demonstrating going from forwards to backwards and then backwards to forwards. Nat's using a crossover to transform from backwards to forwards. And notice he backs in as he goes from forwards to backwards. He'll back himself into the turn, use a crossover, and propel himself back the other way. When going backwards, Nat will bring his free hand up to demonstrate the proper posture of backward skating. Mohawk turns right and left. Using the face-off circle, Nat is demonstrating a proper forward to backward turn. Notice he's not skidding. Common error is for kids to keep both feet on the ice and pivot, creating a stop-like maneuver. This will in turn slow you down. what Nat is demonstrating here is the proper way to do Mohawk turns. Here's Nat demonstrating an improper Mohawk turn, as I talked about earlier. Notice he's just pivoting his body, keeping both feet on the ice at all times, which halfway through the turn creates a stopping action. This is the improper way to do a Mohawk turn. And here is Nat doing it correctly. Notice there is no skating, very little snow flying. Forward cross cuts, right and left. Here Nat's demonstrating cross cuts or crossovers. A common error is for kids to bring their heels over their foot first. And when their foot goes down on the ice, it's actually going in the opposite direction of where they're going. You see Nat right here is trying to bring his toe across first. That'll result in his skate actually going in the direction he's turning, making his crossover look a lot more smooth and it'd be a lot more efficient, generating more speed. You can see here how he brings his toe first, and that's textbook. Here's Nat really emphasizing the toe first. Backward crosscuts right and left. Here Nat's doing the backward crosscuts or crossovers. Notice he's got one hand on his stick, his free arm is up, helping with his posture. Nat has weight on both his outside edge and his inside edge, and both strides will generate speed.